Kingdom, we're going to go live. We're going to talk about some running back stuff because we didn't talk about it. What's going on? It's your host, back once again. Tag team back again. Buttered and a.k.a. the Lost Kelsey brother, a.k.a. Timu Travis Kelsey, a.k.a. actor most likely to play Jason Kelsey in a movie about his life. But we're here on Chiefs Chat, talking about running backs, talking about Chiefs, talking about the draft, talking about the combine. Lots of stuff to cover, lots of stuff going on. Lots of concern right now because people are talking about who they want the Chiefs to take at 9. And there's a lot of draft simulator talk. There's a lot of things going on that are affecting people's viewpoint on what's going to happen on draft day. And I'm here to tell you there's a wild card no one's talking about. People hint at stuff. People, tiptoe around things. But they only give the crux of the fact that these simulators, they're not accounting for coaches moving around. They're not accounting for injuries. They're not accounting for the age of guys. They're not accounting for contracts of guys. And we're going to dig into that, dig a little deeper. Because I have my draft crush. I think you guys know who it is. It hasn't changed. It's still the same guy. But there are teams in the way. Even picking at number 9. Even though my crush is a position that's normally not taken at 9. Was last year. It was last year. If there's a special guy on the board who does special things, you don't want to miss. You definitely don't want to be the team that let him go right by you. And you might have to be the team that trades up to get him. Like, I don't know, when we traded up 17 points to get Patrick Mahomes. And a lot of people thought we were crazy. Turns out not so much. Pretty brilliant, actually. And you gotta assume bright future these boys are hunker down in their little in-house war room and they're like practicing getting ready for the draft. Well, now they're getting ready for the combine. They already going to be down there by now because guys are already arriving today. We can take a little look at the combine schedule. I'll share that with you guys right now. And we'll look at that first, then we'll get on to the finer points of who I think we should pick. And why I don't think we should sign some of the guys people think we should sign. Coming at you with some real information. By the way, I don't know what's going on with my transitions of my show. I haven't done the show on there because it's been hiatus time for me. But there should be a little music between those, between the channel changing from one theme to the next, then it's not happening. So I don't know what's going on there, but it is what it is. There you guys go. Here's the combine schedule. As you can see, different guys, different positions are arriving different days. The first group I have today, would place kickers, D-line, linebackers. I think everyone else will play. Well, actually, I think DBs, tight ends, running backs, quarterbacks, and wideouts will arrive tomorrow on Monday. And then O-line would probably come in on Tuesday, just for ease of flight, I guess. There's a lot of people coming in. I'll drive some time early, I'm sure. There's early player arrivals on Sunday and Monday. Maybe everyone's going to be there by Monday. I'm not sure, but I won't. But place kickers, D-line, linebacker guys are there today because they got to start tomorrow with the registration, pre-exams, and their orientation team interviews. There's going to be team interviews for each position group for 3 days. Place kickers, D-line, linebackers spread out over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll be done through these by Wednesday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's going to be your DBs, tight ends, running backs, quarterbacks, and wideouts. Actually, they did 4 days with running backs, quarterbacks, and wideouts. That's interesting. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday it's Saturday with the alignment. So you have 4 days of the alignment as well. Interesting how that works out. Now we had 3 days with place kickers, D-line, linebackers. This is about as high priority, I don't know. But these guys got a 5 or 6 day gamut. They're going to be, running through the gauntlet of all these drills and speed and physicality and all that stuff from the underwear Olympics used to call it. I don't know if they still do or not, but what we see with these guys, okay? Don't get your heart set on anybody. I won't either. If I had my druthers right now, I would pick a position that's not usually taken that high. We're not easily in a position to pick this high. Thank goodness, with Patrick Mahomes being our quarterback for the last several years, but we're here now. And if we don't want to be back here again, that's why I think we should take the guy I think we should take. First of all, you want to look at who's in front of us. Who's in front of us to give you a good idea of why I think what I think. Yeah, which needs to consider. Well, let's just look at all the way out of the bag. I want to take Jeremiyah Love. If you don't know, now you know. Running back, Notre Dame. So I'll get into the finer points of that later on. And the reasoning for me that people are missing, I think, is they'll justify doing one thing one way for a certain reason and they'll flip the reason on its head for another position, which to me makes little to no sense. Considering the abuse players take, considering the physicality of certain positions versus others. Haven't played the game. I come from a position of I know what it feels like to be on that field and give hits and play different positions. I played a number of different positions to learn the game as an adult. So to apply 5-point and fine-tune where I wanted to fit in, and that was mostly receiver and running back and linebacker, the safety. But primarily I was receiver, tight end. But these people, the experts that are come out talking to us saying, well, you need to give a pass rush. We do need to give a pass rush. We do. There's several ways to do that. One is free agency, for sure. There's a lot of guys coming on free agency right now. Handful of guys that I would, if we got two of those guys, maybe draft a couple guys. You don't have to be the 9th pick overall. The 9th pick overall has to be tone-setting, game-changing, day one starting player for your franchise. And hopefully, if you're, thinking positively, you want him to be a game-changing player for 10 years. The era of Patrick Mahomes is limited. We've only got so much time with Patrick. So the time is now to, make sure I'm being heard of my 40-yard. Yeah, look, make sure that you don't waste any more time in his career. He's coming off an injury and he's going to be jetted. He's going to be so fired up to succeed coming off that injury. It's going to be important for us to not waste any more time with this. So, talk about getting a defensive player. Just you can't put it all on Jim. You can't continue to put it all on one player. You can't continue to put it all on the quarterback's back. Asking, hey, make lemonade out of these trades we got you. I know we got a bunch of lower level, lower grade guys to play wide receiver, but let's win a Super Bowl with those guys. I know your running backs are kind of middling and mediocre. We're not really giving them a chance because we're not sure that they can do it. But we'll just give you a bunch of guys and you just figure it out. Okay. Kurt Warner says to this day, as great as all those other players were, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, what have you, guys on the defense, he says Marshall Faulk was a straw that stirred the drink. Okay. There have been a lot of teams over a lot of years that have really good quarterbacks. That's some good wide receivers. But Mark Clayton, Mark Duper for you older fans in the audience, it matter. The Dan Marino, two great wide receivers, never really a run game. The defense was usually not that great because they're spending a lot of their money on the quarterback. But here we sit with a quarterback who continues to restructure duty, again, restructure his contract. And they're talking about, well, for instance, let me give you an example. The people who want Ribbon Bain, okay? I hear a lot of people want Ribbon Bain. And we'll do a mock draft and we'll see if he's even going in the top 10 anymore, because at the outset of this, it's funny how you go to the national championship, you don't win, and a month later, you're not getting drafted so high. Everybody's not all over their wagon anymore. And the argument to take him was because he was the beast on that D-line. Well, the beast on that D-line didn't have as many tackles or as many sacks as the other beast on the D-line, who was Akeem Mesevar. Akeem Mesevar had 38 solo tackles, over 60 combined, 63 combined. to 30 and 54 for Bain Jr. Major had 9.5 sacks on the season, including playoffs, and Nezor had 12.5. And he threw in 4 forced fumbles. Bain had 1 forced fumble and a pick. Nezor caused 4 forced fumbles. Those were deliberate D-line plays that they make. Oh, who's speaking now?
While the West challenges the Thunder. So for
Their commercial. This is about to... Hang on 1 second. Where is that coming from? That was weird.
Hopeful that Zirkle will knock one through. He was the backup to start the year, but
I don't know, right? It's called, you know, it's probably from there. There it is. Let's pause that. I want to get copyright infringement. With the argument for the 2 guys, and the reason people say one guy and not the other, it's because Akeem Ezra is 3 years older. Akeem Ezra will be 25 this season, and Ruben Bain will be 22. 25 versus 22. Yard is. Stats are pretty close. Okay, we're with the stats last year. Ruben Bain, 14 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks. Nezor, 17 solo tackles, 5.5 sacks. He's outplayed him 2 seasons in a row. But that 3-year age gap, you don't want to, you don't only get 1 contract out of a guy. The old 1 contract argument. If you get him for 5 years, one gonna be 27, the other guy's gonna be 30. Okay, that could make sense. Except when my argument is, who affects the game more? A running back or D lineman? And people say, well, no, you draft this kid because you sign Travis Etienne. A lot of people talk about Travis Etienne now. Draft Travis Etienne. Hey, Cole Keller was gone. Mark super duper, you go, buddy. A lot of people are saying go and find Travis Etienne or fill in free to running back here. And draft one of these D-line guys. Okay? The most sacks the D-lineman has ever got in a season is 22. 22. Let's pretend all those were to stop a team from getting a first down. That's 22 times. The most times a running back has gotten a first down this season is over 100. And multiple players have done it over 100 times. Who's more valuable? Who affects the game more? Let's say if a D lineman got 2 sacks in a game, it's awesome. Did a good job. If a running back had 2 carries in a game, he would be like the even flight. You can't just be on the field. You got to catch the football. Wide receivers. I mean, there's wide receivers like Carnell Lake, people like that. But I think these guys, they're nice pieces. But they're not Jeremiyah Love. They get the oh, well, you go get these guys. Go get Etienne. Go get somebody else. Go get Rico Dowdell. But when it comes to D-line, age range, you got to worry about the age range, right? 22 versus 25 this season. 3-year age difference. Okay, how about Jeremiyah Love's 20 years old? He's younger than both of those guys. How about that? Does that matter? Does it matter? You can genuinely, again, you always got to worry about injuries and stuff from the average running back, career cycle, blah, 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 blah. This guy's special. This guy's not your generic run-of-the-mill running back. This guy is something different. This guy has the potential to be the next Matt Forte, the next Marcus Allen type running back. Whether he'll reach those high heights, who knows? We don't know. But he's got special skill for running and catching the ball out of the backfield. And he'll offer him a lot in the sense that he'll freeze Patrick Mahomes as well. Make things a lot easier forward. That offense to move. That offense to keep moving the chains. Because right now, it was sputtered last season. That caused a lot of problems for Patrick Mahomes in the offense. The wide receivers, some of them are dependable, some of them are not. This guy's also a dependable receiver. Out of the backfield and lining up in the slot, lining up wide. He can do all that. So we have a closer skill set to a Matt Forte or a Christian McCaffrey than anybody had seen in years. Probably since Christian McCaffrey. This is a game-changing running back. Let's look at the draft. Let's look at the mock draft really quick just to see who's available even to us at this point. We're just going to do round one. It's going to get crazy with all that stuff. Okay? Then let's see what comes up. Fernando Mendoza, Ruben Bain going number 2. Look at that. Caleb Downs, Kyle Tate gone. Jordan Tyson gone. Spencer Fall, Ivo Reese, David Bailey. Now Rhea wants us to trade down. They're not going to do that. There's Jeremiyah Love sitting right there. It's okay. I take him. Draft's over. We start the draft. We'll try him. Yes, I want to confirm. And 3 T's. Woman. Let's see what happens. See the phase of sale for changes. Mendoza, part at least this time. Kyle Tate. Tyson. Pulley. Spencer Fondle. Ruben Bain. Buccaneers trade up. This time the Saints took Jeremiyah Love. We have left there now. This situation, probably going to Caleb Downs. Plus singularity type of effect of the safety out of the game. I've seen it in a long time. So I would take Caleb Downs in that situation. Let's restart it again. Confirm. So that's a new one. They're starting to have a little spice with the other teams. The first taking a lane back. Try it again. That's consistent. Fernando Mendoza, Bain, Reese, Tate, Bono. They're Jeremiyah Love. Those are perhaps this time. The perhaps you say. I reject that. Reject that. David Bailey's gone. Now their choice between Jordan Tyson and Caleb Downs. I would not take Kyle Lemon that high. A lot of people got, heads I want the game-changing guy, so either go big receiver. He plays bigger than 6'1". It says 6'1". Surprised at that. Caleb Downs, he's just a beast. He's just a beast. I'm taking Caleb Downs again, so we're doing defense again. Charlotte that time, we've only done Jeremiyah Love once so far. This stands to prove my argument by Mike and Sean. And I haven't even touched some of the team I'm going to talk about yet. That Downs to the Cards, Reese, Tyson, Fano, Bailey, Falk. Oh, very straight up on the home. Reject, and there's Jeremiyah Love again. So it's what I laid Colonel Tate on the board as well, if we wanted to take him as well. So 2 out of 5 times we got Jordan Love. There were times we had to take Caleb Downs. Had to. We got to take Caleb Downs. That's fine. My concern is when I talk about the cap in a minute too. My concern is the position of need. So the Raiders and the Jets. Looks like the Jets are going to resign or tag Race Hall. So that shouldn't be a concern. They're probably not going running back. Raiders just drafted Ashton J.D. last year. They're not going running back. As you saw there, the Cleveland Browns taking their running back there at that time, and they had the Saints take them one time. Washington Commanders had needs all over the field. Could they take them? Would they take them? Maybe. They need a lot of help, though. They probably need to go to O-line. They need help. New York Giants, well, let's take a look at the New York Giants. New York Giants have Cam Scatterable. What's the word? Cam made out. Make sure you get the label down here. Cam Scatterable, they're injured last year. Cam Scatterable expected to be fully healthy for the start of the 2026 season following surgery for a broken ankle ligament. Bone injury, severe right ankle injury, dislocation, and fracture and part surgery. Rehabilitation is going better than expected. He's begun running. Roughly 2 months away from being 100% healthy as of February 2026. So, anticipated for the start of training camp late July. No problems. So, probably not going running back. So let's take the Giants out of the equation. Then you got the Browns, who took Jeremiyah Love in one of those mock drafts. When John Jenkins, don't forget, recovering from a successful surgery to repair fractured fibula and dislocated ankle. He sustained over 16. Initial 4 to 6 month recovery time. Reports suggest a return by June 26. Recent 2026. February reports indicating lingering issues with his recovering. and knowing he was still at a walking boot, which could impact his readiness. So, what does impact his readiness mean? He's not ready for week 1. He's not ready till week 5. He's not ready, and we don't know if he'll be the same. But I'll put that in probably not going to be a problem. Probably going to stay with him. Probably be it. They need other players as well. If Crandall Tate, fair, I'll be surprised if they leave Crandall Tate on the board because, Deion Sanders is their butt to give their quarterback a wide receiver to trade. So let's take the Browns out. And the Browns are going to Browns. They just do that. They're just going to do that. So let's take them out of there. Already have that covered. This young lad right here, Javonte Williams, he's no longer an option for the case. He's already got a deal. The great terms with the Dallas Cowboys. You start to set the market here. We're starting to set the market that's $8 million a year. $8 million a year. Okay. Why is that a concern? Well, $8 million a year. When the 9th overall pick for 2026 is projected to make $5.64 million for his rookie year. Not 8, 5.5. We're picking number 9 right now. Maybe we'll pick higher. We don't know. They will pick. There's the Saints. Their pick last year was the 9th. And he was making $5 million a year. And if we had to trade up, Ashton Jeanty was the 6th overall pick. He was making $6.5 million a year. Still far lower than 8. Okay. Now, getting to winning ducks, and why I'm concerned because here's the Tennessee Titans. Also picking before us. Obviously. Tennessee Titans picked 4th. They're not even the wild card yet. Tennessee Titans picked 4th. They've got Tony Pollard, but he's 29. He's in the last season of this contract at 29. Set to make $9.25 million a year. There's definitely a world where they draft Jeremiyah Love, and they trade Tony Pollard. That's a possibility. Let's say, Mike Roberts is a defensive-minded head coach. He's not going to do that. Let's take them off the board. Okay, what do we got left? We got Washington Commanders we took off the board. If you think they're going to need a lot of things, they're probably not going to sell for a lane back. They got 2 guys in camp. 2 guys on their team that they like. The 3 named dude, married. Next up, we got the Saints. The Saints at 4th. I've been ready to turn it off. Let's see here. Okay. As of February 22nd, 2026, Alvin Kamara has not been officially cut, but he's considered a prime candidate for a post-June release or trade due to his high $18.6 million cap hit. Low production last year. Low season of his career. 471 yards, 1 touchdown in 11 games. Potential trade to teams like the Broncos, or they says a strong possibility they can save $18.5 million. Sorry, well, they cut him. It would save him $8.5 million. Cost him less than what it would cost to draft and sign Jeremiyah Love. It's both Jeremiyah Love plus $3 million of cap space if they get rid of Alvin Kamara. So that's one team we might have to jump over. Maybe we jump over them and trade with the Titans, to say. Trade with the Giants. Trade with the Browns. Trade with one of those teams. All right. We'll come back to that. Let's look at free agents real quick. Javonte Williams, projected is fine. Market setting rate of $8 million a year. Yeah, we put Dowdell after a 1,000-yard season in the last 2 years. Likely to party in the Panthers. Okay. Breece Hall is probably going to sign. He's probably going to sign they'll get a franchise tag or something. Travis Etienne, high-value target. Teams needing a versatile back. We need a versatile back for sure. Kenneth Walker, one of the top available young running backs. Just won a Super Bowl. J.K. Dobbins, available as a free agent. Previously with Denver. And Kenneth Gainwell. Those are the ones I have listed here. The ones I'm really looking at. Okay? Now, let's look at their comparisons statistically last year. Travis Etienne, the most talked about, 17 games. He had 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns, 292 yards receiving. Rico Dowdell, 17 games, 1,076 yards, 6 touchdowns, 297 yards receiving. Breece Hall, if he doesn't get, signed up by the Jets, 1,065 yards, 4 touchdowns, 350 yards receiving. Kenneth Walker, the third Super Bowl champion, 1,027 yards, 5 touchdowns, 282 yards receiving. Dobbins got injured, played 10 games, 772 yards, 4 touchdowns, 37 yards receiving. And Kenneth Gainwell, I like as an option as a secondary back. 537 yards, but he also had 486 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. Jeremiyah Love, now I know it's college. I know it's not the praise. But in 12 games, 1,372 yards, 18 touchdowns, 280 yards receiving, when everyone on the other team knows he's getting the ball a lot. Known factor, he had to take him away. They were not able to take him away for the most part, all season long. Okay, well, let's look at the injuries, because we're talking about, who can stay on the field in their camp. J.K. Dobbins suffered a Lisfranc injury in 2025 against the Raiders, required season injury and needs foot surgery. Falls career history of including ACL, LCL reconstruction in 21 and Achilles tear in 2023. So let's just take, as much as I love him coming out of college, let's take him off the table. We saw probably going to get fined, but he previous heroin in 20 ACL, and then this gets in 2022. So he's got that going on inside his body. Played the full 2025 season without any reported surgical setbacks. Kevin Foreman referred to up last year for all the games. History includes hernia surgery and multiple leak, which is not good for running backs, and ankle strain, which is not good for running backs. He was sidelined in 23 and 24. Rico Dowdell, sports memory surgery during his college career at South Carolina. Those various minor ailments, but he completed 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons. That's great. The most coveted so far right now, apparently the apple of everyone's eye. Travis Etienne Jr. missed his entire rookie season after suffering a Lisfranc injury. Has remained largely durable since playing 17 games in 2025. So Lisfranc injury, he's got a screw in his foot. It was a severe injury. And that's in there still. Lisfrancs, Achilles, ACLs, these are things that linger and affect running backs. The Cole Killer says, first of all, would you rather sign free agent running back or draft Love? Absolutely would rather sign Love or draft Love, and I'll tell you why in a minute. More reasons why. But that's funny you said that, 'cause I thought the same thing about the kicker from Seattle. I thought he got screwed. That would be an MVP as well. But, I mean, Kenneth Walker balled out too. So, and then the last one was Kenneth Gainwell, primarily a durable guy, special teams asset, but he was a great receiving back from the Steelers this year. And we need running backs that can get some off. A secondary back comes into this team. He's shown he can run between the tackles, but he's great catching the ball into the backfield as well. I don't want a 195-pound guy be my number one back. Brashard Smith, put some weight on, please. If you want to be on this team and stay. He's even said himself, the biggest credit will give Brashard Smith. He said he needs to put on some weight so he can be an actual NFL-sized running back. Better by respect, really. Jeremiyah Love is 20 years old and has no reported major surgeries during his 2025 dog. He's not an injured guy. He's 20. Remember we said Ruben Bain and Mesidor. Well, you know what? Mesidor, those stats are better the last 2 years. He's going to be 3 years older. Ruben's only going to be 22. He's going to be 25. Okay. Let's take a look at these other running backs. Result probably inside that. He's 25. He's 5 years older. Not 3, 5 years older. They've had injuries. He injured him from more than one contract. Let's go ahead and put him to the side. Also, he's probably not expected to make 12 to $14 million a season. That is their contract. 12 to 14 million. But you can get Jeremiyah Love for 5.5, maybe 6. Okay. Travis Etienne, 27, with injuries, with Lis Frank injury, a major one. 7 years older. And not as good, frankly. They might be nice. I mean, potentially, right? We'll see what he can do in the pros. We don't know yet. But 27 versus 20. Okay. And he's probably going to be set to make about, it says, 6.8 to 8 or 9 million a year. So definitely more to a lot more. And the mentioned he's 27. Little foreshadowing there. We can skip over that, right, Nick? Tomorrow, the Javonte, he's already doing it signed. No way to close those. Javonte Williams, 26, and he got that contract for $8 million a year. So scratch that. We're already in a scratch, but he's 28 as well. 28. Kenneth Walker probably going to stay with Seattle, 26 years old, 6 years older, and has injuries, and isn't as good a receiver, not even close, as good a receiver as Jeremiyah Love. Come on, back no. Rico Dowdle's 28 years old. You know he's been around that long? He's 28, folks, and 195 pounds. The three can't do it. But 28 years old, had some injuries. Hernias. Kenneth Gainwell, 27. I want to be by primary yet. Can be signed for 2 or 3 years for a limited contract. If we give him and Jeremiyah Love both under the roof, 10 million combined. Is that not better? I took this thing, I said, compare the average number of touches per game by wide receiver. Number one wide receiver, number one running back. This is my reasoning for not getting Kyle Tate versus Jeremiyah Love, or any wide receiver for that matter, versus Jeremiyah Love. And now I know we don't run the balls consistently as we should, but if we had somebody like him, maybe we would. Because that would go a long way to extending and blowing up, brightening up Patrick Mahomes' career. Because we got a supreme running back to worry about, you can't focus on Patrick as much. If you catch the ball in the backfield and make him 60-yard runs to the end zone, you better rewind about the running back, and that's going to open up stuff for the wide receivers. There's good wide receivers in the free agency as well. We'll talk about that in a second, too. But we're talking a guy that might touch the ball 15, 18, 20 times a game versus a guy that's going to touch the ball maybe 6, 7, 9 times a game. What's more important? Who transitions faster, running backs or wide receivers in the NFL? It's a trick question. No, it's not. Running backs. The job's very simple compared to a wide receiver. Learning Andy Reid's complex offense. Jeremiyah Love showed me he can block, he can catch in the backfield, and he runs like a Dickens. And he's younger than anyone by far that we're talking about right now. Final hair of the dog for that is the wild card right here. And cards right in. No one's talking about this. My concern is he'll be a moot point considering trading up to 4 or 5 with the Titans or the Giants to get in front of the Browns, Commanders, and Saints. Because I think the Cardinals might take him right there at number 3. Think about it. First of all, let's look at the running backs. Okay, right now, your top running backs are James Conner under contract in 2026, potential cap cut. They could save $7.5 million. That's more than Jeremiyah Love would cost. They could do Jeremiyah Love plus $2 million if they get rid of James Conner. James Conner, he's 31 years old. Kerry Benson, they have that 3rd round pick. He's signed through 2027. It's not a starter. Michael Carter, they have signed through 2025, eligible for free agency. Bart DiMarcano dragged out on the sideline. He's a pending free agent. E.J. Dallas has been in the league for about 1,000 years, it feels like. Concerns with those running backs. Well, there you go. James Conner suffered a season-ending foot injury in week 3. Missed the rest of the year. Under contract, but could save them money if they got rid of him. He's not young. He's coming off an injury. It's expensive. Strike 3 or out. Trey Benson got his chance to step up. Place on injury reserve with a knee injury after week 4. Done. Michael Carter from the practice squad following the injuries. Former North Carolina Tar Heel. He had a chance to play a little bit, but still, nothing to write home about exactly the starter. So they got 2 guys come off a major season injuries. And 1 guy who was a backup rotation guy at best. My concern is Jeremiyah Love does not make it past pick number 3. The thing that adds to that is the mediocre yards when we look at that. The thing that adds to that is the fact that the Cardinals head coach, their new head coach, is Mike LaFleur. Okay, Mike LaFleur is former Sean McVay guy. Well, he's an offensive coordinator. He's an offensive coordinator, so he's an offensive head coach, first of all. He got rid of Jonathan Gannon. And LaFleur comes in. He's the brother of Matt LaFleur, head coach at the Green Bay Packers. And if Matt LaFleur calls his brother and says, you have a chance to get your very own Josh Jacobs, don't screw it up. When Josh Jacobs is healthy, the Green Bay Packers are Super Bowl contenders. When he's not, they're average. They're not great. So, my concern is that man right there on your screen. Now LaFleur, this dude that looks like he's 17 years old, going on 60. I don't know. This looks like a young old man. He's probably going to take Jeremiyah Love at number 3. I would, if I was him. I would make no bones about it. That called me crazy in 3 years when he's one of the top backs in the NFL and in football games. Or you could look at Alabama and Bill. I can make Ty Simpson the starting quarterback in the NFL. And I could trade out of the 3rd spot in the draft with the Chiefs to get some picks, go back and get them later. Or possibly the mid-teens. Early 20s in the 1st round, he could trade back to you. They get a bunch of picks and still get Ty Simpson. So will they go quarterback? Do they get enough of that guy? Ty Simpson's good quarterback. He looks good. His tape looks good. 28 touchdowns, 5 picks. Ball out. 6'2", about 210, 215. It's good size enough. Along with the size, I'll put some weight on the pros as well. Strong kid. Mobile, quick. Faster back. Jones, I guess they're calling him. We'll see. We'll see. But this guy is the wild card right here. Mark my words, write it down. No one's talking about it. I don't know why. Let all the things fall through. Let's go back to the draft screen. Start one time. Start over. That guy will take to the Bengals. He'll be a better receiver. That'd just be awful for that whole division, their whole division. Okay, we'll try the draft team, see what happens. Mendoza, Bain, Bain, Carl Tate, David Bailey, Caleb Downs, Keldrick Falk, Marlo Reese, Jordan Tyson. Makes the 2 for you. I love it. But I think the machines, the draft machines are missing it. Especially with them just sitting there and taking Kyle Tate when they need a lot more than a wide receiver. So you're telling me what drives want to get? Because you're telling me the Arizona Cardinals who have Marvin Jones, not showing, not the cash and Jay And Michael Wilson got balled out last year, a wide receiver. They drafted another wide receiver. The running back. It's empty. It's a bunch of guys coming off injury and a bunch of guys that are just okay. Less than average. Throw in more time. You gotta give himself the mode than Cardinal Tate. I don't see them doing that. I really don't. Another wide receiver. What's the logic? I've got Cardinal Tate. Jeremiyah Love to the Washington Commanders that time. See that? He's running back. He's a young running back. Their guys come off injury, but looks good. Their guy, we don't know what his status is. They have no dominant first string running back. Their running back's old, expensive. And then there's us. But that's Caleb Downfield, which, Caleb Downfield received first-round premonitions from the general consensus ever since he set foot on Alabama's campus with a 5-star recruit. An instant producer at the college football level. Downs was a star for the Crimson Tide defense in 2023 and then for Ohio State's championship caliber unit in 2024 and 2025. Downs' raw production underwhelms in comparison to his prestige, but don't let that fool you. On film, he's one of the best safety prospects in recent memory and is a blue-chip player in the 2026 NFL draft class. A fluid, explosive, and energized mover. That's 6 foot, 205 pounds. Downs is special in the box with his combined mobility, play pace, angle IQ, and physicality on blocks. He's an expert at running alleys, scraping through contact, and securing solo tackles, and his instant reaction to stimulus ensures he's always responsible for plays. While his raw production and coverage makes him easy to overlook in space, his coverage game is just as exhilarating. Downs is an uber instinctive cover man who can swiftly process route combinations, manage route relationships, transition with ease, and clamp down on stems. From different alignments, he's the consummate glue guy, with the cosmic football IQ, and the versatility to play 2 high, single high in the box as a river. And even if he's Ed Reed. The description is Ed Reed. Will he be that in the pros? We'll see, but that's the description. He sounds like Ed Reed. So there's a lot of ways we could go with a lot of courage. McKee's a quiet. McKee's edge, Keldrick Falk. There's a lot of potential there. He's Spags' size. Spags likes that. 6'5", 288. That's a big guy. He likes that. Production. Seven sacks, 11 tackles for loss in 2024, but production stagnated in 2025. So, is that him or is that a product of not a great team? For the college, you want guys that can step up and create. And then, where is he? Way down here at 30. 6'3", 273. He'll be 25. Yeah. But you give him for 5 years. As he comes in the league playing the way he's playing now. His brains are 3-tech and 5-tech. Doesn't have the short arms they say that Ruben Bain has. I would trade out of the spot, but let's just say I would trade out and take him. There's your edge rusher. But trade down and get him. And get some 1 picks. I'm just telling you guys. Wouldn't go back to the souls for nightmare. Telling you straight up. Cole Keller and anybody else with flaring. Michael Furr. That's the name, Mike. I've seen this guy like twice in all of my stuff. Yeah. Mike LaFleur is the wild card. Mike LaFleur could be the flying arraignment of drafting Jeremiyah Love because these draft machines all have us taking wide receiver. All have the Cardinals taking a wide receiver, and that's one they don't take him. At number 3. Their running back runs a shambles. They get 2 stud wide receivers. Who would you take? Call me crazy. I don't see us trading up to 3 to do it. So
We'll leave it there, guys. I think the Chiefs are going to be back in the playoff hunt, taking the AFC West back, competing for the AFC and competing for the Super Bowl this season. And a key cog for that to happen is drafting Jeremiyah Love. But Mike LaFleur is standing right in the way. That's all I got for you guys now. It's great to be back on again. If I was Britt Beach, would I re-sign Kareem Hunt? Well, let me see here. That was all I had for you, but I had something else. First of all, what did I do? I had the free agency thing. I got rid of it. The way I look at it right now, if I'm going to get free agents and bring them in, I would do my best to sign Romeo Doubs or Alec Pierce or Michael Pittman. Give us another wide receiver, because I'd be considering getting rid of Rasheed. It's just too much baggage. Every 8 months, it's something else. Every couple months, it's something else. When I go post this, I'll get rid of that silent part. Every 8 or 9 months, there's another. Oh, now this happened off the field. Now that happened off the field. He needs a fresh start. We need a fresh start. With the drops and everything last year, it's not worth it. I'm not putting any more money into that pony. I'm sorry. No pun intended. SMU. Get us another wide receiver. Get us Romeo Doubs. Get us Michael Pittman. Get us Alec Pierce. Somebody like that. Maybe bring back Thornton if you can get him to stay on his feet instead of falling down every time he catches the ball. I think those guys with Jalen Royals and Xavier Worthy, I'm ready to roll with those guys. And Travis Kelce. Bring in Isaiah Likely. Bring in a tight end that can really play. Travis Kelce, Isaiah Likely, Xavier Worthy, Romeo Doubs, or let's say Michael Pittman, because I think Michael Pittman's going to be cut because he's going to be expensive and they want to re-sign Pierce. But let's say Michael Pittman, that's huge. And then Jalen Worthy can come along, probably draft a guy or two, maybe sign another secondary wide receiver, tertiary wide receiver. Running backs, I would bring back Kareem and draft Jeremiyah Love. And maybe you sign Kenneth Gainwell. If you can get Kenneth Gainwell, if we went to battle with Kevin Gainwell, Kareem Hunt, and Jeremiyah Love, Travis Kelce and Isaiah Likely, Michael Pittman, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Royals, and fill in other receivers here. Heck, if we kept Rashee Rice for one more season, I don't know. Are we doing that? Maybe wring one good season out of him if he can stay healthy and stay out of trouble. He might not even get to play. We don't know what's happening. Don't put it past our Chiefs to just cut him. They might just do that. You know what else? I said I was going to do the money for you guys. Let's do that real quick before we go. Right now, 11 million over the cap, 11.3 million over the cap. Okay. First things first, right out of the gate, one cut. Let's say we trade him so we get something for him. Here it is, guys. Here it is. Trade Jawan Taylor before June 1st. And presto, we're $8.5 million under the cap. We have $8.5 million. We have enough money to sign Jeremiyah Love and $3 million left over. Okay, that's one play. What else can we do? Well, Creed's not going anywhere. Let's restructure Creed. Submit that. Boom. Now we're $17.5 million under the cap. George Karlaftis is not going anywhere. Let's restructure that. George, boom. Now we're $25.5 million under the cap. One that might surprise people. I think we're trading Trent McDuffie before the draft. Pre-June 1st. Trade Trent McDuffie. That's 39 million. Okay. Let's say we trade to get something for him, but trading or cutting Mike Dana, that's probably happening. Now we're at 48 million. Everybody keeps talking about cutting Drew Tranquil. Why would you do that? Why? Balled out. Stats are consistent every single season. Excellent linebacker. One of the leaders on that defense. knows what the hell's going on, isn't afraid to talk shit to Chris Jones when he fucks up. And he messes up multiple times a season. So Drew Tranquil staying right there. We're still 48 million under the cap. Everybody else, it is what it is. If we cut, trade, whatever, Rashee Rice, the sad thing there is it's only worth $1.5 million because we're not paying him shit anyway. He's still a second-round rookie. So that gets us to $49 million. Okay? But let's say we keep him because people want to keep him. That's $48 million. The one nobody's talking about and nobody wants to look at. $44.8 million. 44. That's $10 million more. $10.2 million more than our quarterback for one season to Chris Jones, who's 32. And the last 2 seasons, his numbers have just been not good. Love Chris. Loved having him as a Chief. It's been a great success story as a second-round pick. But he's got to restructure. If he does that, that gives us another $22.5 million to play with. That puts us at $70.5 million under the cap. Let's undo it. Can't trade him before, but somebody out there doesn't get their pick, doesn't get their guy, their D-line guy in the draft, and we trade him after the 1st of June or designate him a June 1st trade and just do the paperwork early to get it ready, that saves us $35 million. That saves us Patrick Mahomes' contract plus $1 million for the season. If we trade Chris Jones after June 1st, Patrick Mahomes plays for free and the team gets an extra $1 million. What's the saying? Always trade a player a year or 2 before it's time. I think we're already past that with Chris. The last couple of years of production or lack thereof. Last year, the brain farts. The hero ball against the Chargers going inside when he had outside contained. Drew Tranquil lost it on him. Loses the game. Gives up a 15-yard first down on 3rd and 14. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Why am I out here against the Jags? All you got to do is stop Trevor. What's his name? Gosh, my brain's not working right now. All you got to do is stop the Jaguars quarterback. And he stops trying, and the guy falls down on his own. And he starts to go, and the guy gets up and he stops trying again. Like, that's no, miss me with that. Miss me with he does all these other things that you don't see. No, I watch the football game and I see stud defensive linemen getting 11, 12, 15, 22 sacks. They affect the game a lot. They get a lot of tackles too. Chris doesn't get a lot of tackles. What do you have, 13 this year? So $35 million for 7 sacks. It's $5 million a sack, guys. Come on. Really? Really? What are we talking about here? Trade him. Wish him well. Trade him to the NFC. Get him out of the AFC if we can. Or, figure out where he wants to go. He says he's a Chief for life. He's bragging about it online. They couldn't pay me $93 million, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Easy, big guy. I love that he attests his dedication to this team. And I know they love him, but nothing's probably going to happen because he's Chris Jones and our team is loyal to a fault sometimes. And they'll go, he's retiring a Chief. We don't care. Okay, but what if he's horrible this year and next year he doesn't want to retire? What then? So if we undo that, we look at Chris Jones. Oh, he only makes $38 million next year. And then 44 again. So he's going to cost us over about $120 million for the next 3 years. Come on, he'll be 34 years old by then. You want to talk about age? It's already showing. Oh, I'm not sharing this with you. Let me share this with you guys. There's Chris's contract right there. He's 14.8% of the cap right now. 14.8. 44.5 million. 44.8 million. If we trade him post June 1st, we get 35 million back. We're 83 million under the cap. We save more than Patrick Mahomes gets paid this season. It's a lot. It's a lot. Just food for thought. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the chat, Cole, if you want to. I'm going to head off, guys, and call it a night. It's late. Great to share stuff with you guys again. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Hopefully those cards will trade out of that spot. We'll have an option. We've got to worry about the Cards. We've got to worry about the Saints. We got to worry about the Browns and the Titans. That's 4 teams between us and Jeremiyah Love that I'm truly concerned about. Mildly concerned about the Giants because John Harbaugh is a bit of a wild card. Not worried about the Jets or the Raiders. The only way I'd be thinking the Jets are going to take him is if they trade Breece Hall to us or someone else. We'll see what happens. But every running back people are thinking about taking and signing instead of drafting Jeremiyah Love is 6, 7, or 8 years older than Jeremiyah Love. You want to talk about one contract running backs, that's what you're going to get. And then we're right back here again 2 or 3 years from now with Patrick Mahomes' career ticking away, trying to get another running back into our system. Or we draft Jeremiyah Love, lock him in. If he stays healthy, we got 10 years. Patrick Mahomes is retiring possibly before Jeremiyah Love's done. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a fun week. Let's watch the combine. Enjoy that. We'll talk about that later this week. And that's going to let a lot of stuff. A lot of chickens are going to come home to roost this week. We're going to see what these guys run, see what their strength is, see how their interviews go. It's going to tell a lot of tales. We'll see what's happening after this week. And then when free agency kicks in, oh, baby, shift gears again. A lot of stuff's going to happen. A lot of chips to fall yet. We got restructures. We got trades. We got trade potential. We got cut potentials. We're going to be well under the cap by the time it's time to draft players. Trust me. Brett Veach, in Veach we trust, right? Anyway, that's about it, guys. As always, go Chiefs. Yeah, go Chiefs.